Hello everybody and welcome back to Broken Brian. And today Warner Brothers has announced that it will be shutting down its online Smash Brothers clone, Multiversus. Now I made a video about this last year before it came out, and at the time they were kind of thinking, oh, it's going to be like you buy it, but then they changed before release to free to play, which was probably a good idea because a lot of the complaints has been there's been a lot of clunky mechanics, and there's been a lot of just uh, lag with online play. It hasn't been a great experience for a lot of players. And what are we at now? Like 10 months. It's been out for about 10 months, which sounds like a long time, but for an online game that should have been going on and on and on with the free to play, but you purchase season passes and other upgrades and stuff like that. There were a lot of mobile game type stuff like that. You get it. But yeah, when I made the video, it was just kind of like, yeah, it's a Smash Brothers clone, and even though it's free to play, it's just kind of like, yeah, you get play some characters that you're familiar with from the Warner Brothers catalog, from Looney Tunes, Scooby Doo, DC, Cartoon Network, and just a lot of other ones that you're like, okay, this will be fun. But I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, I've got Cartoon Network. Oh, what's that one? Battle Crashers. I've got that on the Switch. Yeah, it was kind of fun, but it was kind of like, yeah, just felt like I overpaid for the game. I mean, I'll be honest, just kind of felt like I paid for it. And it's just one of those, okay, well, here it is. And it's going to end with season 5, which is going to end May 30th. And so we've got 3 more months. Tomorrow's February, 3 more months, and the game will shut down its servers for cross-platform play. The plus side is if you download the game before the end of season 5, you will still be able to play it just locally against an AI, or you can set it up to play local players on your local Wi-Fi network. And yeah, when you kind of do that, it's okay, but there will be no further updates, no new content, anything. It's basically, yeah, you'll still get to play it if you download it, but that's it. It's pretty much done. And they're like, oh, you can still buy these things, and I was like, if you're going, this game is ending. And some of the articles I saw on this, I only looked about 3, but it's, don't buy anything on this game. It's basically dead in 3 months. Don't purchase anything. I mean, don't waste your money because you don't get you're going to lose online access, and eventually if you download it on a PC especially, or some other device that's mobile and gets regular updates, even on a console, there's a probability that this game will eventually stop working, period. We've seen Windows Update crash Ubisoft games, which by and large was funny. But I mean, even just a Android or Apple OS update, PlayStation update, Xbox update, any update like that for the core system may make this game unplayable. So don't put any money into it. And it's going to be ending in 3 months. And, I wasn't just thrilled with it. Don't get me wrong. I'm usually down for anything that's got Scooby in it, because I love Scooby-Doo. But let's be honest, it was just every video I was just kind of like, I still don't want to play it. Just kind of like, Of all the things I can play, everything I've got backlogged, I had no desire to purchase this, download it, install it, just none whatsoever. It was just kind of like, yeah. Like, if you offered it to me for free and I could keep it, Like if it was offered for free through like GOG or something like that, yeah, I'd probably get it, download it, and save the setup. But yeah, it just otherwise it's I'm just not interested. There's so much stuff out there, and that's the problem with games like this that are like that. Because essentially, what they're trying to do is they're trying to pull in the market from some of the market from Fortnite and some of this, but you're also competing. The people that play these games are also playing Call of Duty, Space Marines, Helldivers, uh, Marvel Rivals, Overwatch, Apex Legends. They're playing all these games already, and if they're like, oh, now if it didn't have some wow factor to attract them in, don't get me wrong, the characters themselves are the wow factor, really, but I mean, just look at this picture right here of Wonder Woman. It's just kind of like, this looks like the bad DC animation. Like if you see this animation, this is what you expect from like the DC animation that's like the Supergirls. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a whole series of like 4 or 5 DC movies where they're all like, it's like the kids and it's like the DC characters where they're all children and they're all kind of younger. That's the animation it looks like, and I was just kind of like, yeah, it's definitely not. I don't know who their target audience was. And don't get me wrong, Warner Brothers pushed a lot of money into advertising. It was everywhere. It was advertised everywhere. I remember traveling in the summer, me and the kids were on a road trip, and we were in a town. I was like, I don't know where to stop. So, road trip, always, if you don't know where a good restroom is somewhere, always go to a restaurant. And usually McDonald's just keeps their bathrooms pretty spotless, I have to say. I won't eat there, but I'll stop and go to the restroom there. And I remember we stopped and look, hey, and they had a little case of like the toys, and it was the Multiversus, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that game. Yeah, there, and it's everywhere. They pushed a lot. I mean, to get toys into McDonald's, you pay a lot of money to do it. So it's advertising. You're paying for the advertising because they have a huge distribution network, and it's going to go directly to a lot of children. So that's definitely younger players were targeted for this, and it's not violent. It's very cartoony, but it's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know if an online PvP game geared for younger people is not going to be a huge market, because I guarantee you the ones that they need to market to aren't coming to it because they have one other thing that they do constantly, and that is all the games within Roblox. I'm not joking you. Seriously, Roblox is one of the top 10 most played games every single month. Both my kids play Roblox. My son is absolutely addicted to what's it called? Slap battles. So it's one of those, it's like, yeah, you want to do that PvP stuff. I mean, Roblox has it and everyone's in it. Their friends are in it. They're playing it. I asked if they wanted me to download this, and they're like, nah. They didn't have any interest. They're having a blast playing Roblox. So that's the big competitor really in their marketing, was they had to get people from younger players from Roblox to here, and that just wasn't going to happen. I just don't think it is. The kids that are into Roblox, they just love it because it's continually updating, continually changing, and there's lots of stuff to do. And I can't even wrap my head around everything that's in there because I've never played it. But I have sat with my kids while they're playing it and watched, and I've got an idea in my head. But I mean, that's their direct competitor. Whether they want to admit it or not, Roblox was a direct competitor to this game being successful, and they just didn't have that power. They just did not have the ability to reach those younger players, to connect with them, and I really do. The older ones that I talked about before, all the other games, the PvP games, like, you're not going to. People playing Marvel Rivals are not coming over to play this. They're not. People playing Call of Duty and Overwatch and all those other ones, the Fortnite, they're not coming to this. And the ones that would from from Roblox are not. Roblox and Fortnite aren't coming to this either. It was just, it was a cool concept if it was a standalone game like Smash Brothers without the PvP online play. It probably would have made a good amount of money from it. Continuing to read that, hey, like they did with Mario Kart, pull the season pass, buy this, and you get these characters. Okay, things like that. That might have been a better model for them. I think the online PvP is just, right now, it's at its saturation point. You have to have something amazing that eclipses one of the major players out there. And right now, that's hard to do. Concord flopped, but you can give it a lot of reasons why that flopped. But, I mean, Concord, what's another I swear there's been a couple of PvP games that shut down this year. There's so much stuff going on, I can't keep track anymore. But it was just, yeah, I like it. I like the concept. If this was just like Multiversus, was just a straight standalone Smash Brothers clone that I could purchase, physical copy, play it on my Switch, I probably would have bought it. Free to play and play to win scenario, nah, not interested. And I think that's their misstep, was they wanted to get their foot in the door in that market and get that share, but this just wasn't going to do it. 10 months in, they finally decided, yep. And I think it's going to hit that year mark. I think May is when it was released last year, so it made it a year. That's not good for a PvP game. I mean, it just didn't have the numbers, it wasn't bringing the money, and I get it. They just overestimated the value of their IPs and their properties. Don't get me wrong. Would love to play Batman versus Shaggy all day long. That'd be a fun match to play. But it's, yeah. As a standalone game, I would have bought it. But this, just, I'm out. And I think that's what a lot of people decided. We're like, oh, it's another free-to-play thing, and it's online, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, people are still playing Among Us and Party Animals consistently. And this is just, yeah. No. And I feel bad because, man, they're, I guess you can chalk this up to that CEO, their head of the Warner Brothers Entertainment Department that I made a video about a week or two ago, stepping down. Yeah, this is in his wheelhouse. This was part of his projects too, and they're shutting it down because I think they realize it's just the amount of money they're putting into it is just not going to ever get a return on that. It just doesn't have the player base that it needs, and so yeah, it's shutting down. And that's all I can say is, yeah. You know, I didn't even look it up. What is the... You know, I should have done my due diligence, but let's look it up. Let's look at the Steam numbers. Let's just look at the Steam numbers. Oh, it's 2 years ago. So has it been that long? Okay, peak was 153,000 2.5 years ago. I could have sworn it was only last year. Oh, that's the free key giveaway. So really, official launch, May of 2024. Okay, so it has been a year. Their peak was their free key alpha beta testers right here. You know, official launch was 114,000 on official launch, and it went down pretty quick by July. So 2 months, pretty much. Yeah, launched in May. By the end of summer, everyone was done with it. Yeah, right now, 720 is the peak, and for a multiplayer online game, That's not good. Because I can't remember, I read some article that 10% of the people playing will actually purchase in-item things for free-to-play games. 10%. That's the number you just kind of go with. I think I read that on Game Developer just to kind of get it. So out of this, 72 people are probably buying in-game products. 72. That will not keep your game afloat. It won't. Especially since it's free to play, but pay to win. So, yeah. But yeah, that's a little misleading because this was the free key. It was 153. Yeah, everyone wanted to play it. The official launch, July, August, September. After about a month, it just did not have the staying power. It didn't. Let's go to a year. It's just a dramatic drop. It's just been a slow, look at that. Okay, there's a peak there. That's probably season 2, season 3, season 4. Here comes season 5 right here. Season 5 is going to peak up a little bit and probably going to get some peak playing. It's probably going to get some more players. Just be like, oh, well, at least I want to say I've played it. There's people out there, because that crossed my mind. I was like, I should at least download it and play it. But then I'm like, do I really want to? But really, look at that. That's just sad for an online free-to-play game. That is 720 people. It's not good. It's bad. When did it drop below 1,000? This year, the new year. After December, it dropped below 1,000. Starting in January, it dropped below 1,000. It's never going to get back up. Well, it'll get back up with the peak of probably 5 because they're going to introduce Lola Bunny, and who's the other one? Oh, what was the other one? Lola Bunny and somebody else. And Aquaman. DC's Aquaman, Looney Tunes Lola Bunny will be there. It'll peak up so people can play. Lola Bunny will bring in some players. But game's dead. That's all there is to it. So goodbye, Multiversus. You just couldn't compete. Like I said, if it was a standalone game and not online play, it probably could have done some good numbers. But the market's oversaturated and they just couldn't do it. So, yeah, no reason to ramble on and on and on in my random thoughts and thought processes. So, with that being said, as always, my friends, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.